I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. I'm going to let a few of you guys get in here. Britt has just made a statement, and baby, it is a bombshell. Bombshell. Do you hear me? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Hey, everybody, come on in. Nice to see y'all. Come on in. So you guys, Britt Eady has made an official statement. So everybody knows probably that she has quit. Come on in. Hey, LaPrice, how are you, honey? Hey, Jordan Track. Come on in, y'all. You will not believe, child. You will not believe. This entire season, this girl has been showing out, screaming at the top of her lungs, saying things like she lost her job, she's under investigation. I told y'all just a little bit ago that Kenya has said she is coming back. She is coming back. She looks forward to her return on Bravo. And then she actually apologized to Britt. If you guys did not get a chance to see my last review, child, but Kenya said she's coming back, and I kid you not, Miss Britt Eady has just made a statement that vindicates Kenya. And my guess, like I told y'all in my last video, Kenya actually talked to some people and she got that damn paperwork together, and Bravo is definitely bringing her back on, okay? Just in case, do not forget it, okay? Come on in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going live real quick to talk to you guys about a statement just issued by Britt Eady. If you did not know, they are filming the reunion, and yeah, they got everybody in place, child. First chair, second chair, all the chairs. Let me show you guys real quick what the seating chart is going to look like. Kenya knew what she was talking about. Kenya knew what she was talking about for sure. For sure. But Kenya made this statement very soft, right? She said, I'm disappointed that I'm not a part of the RHOA taping, because Kenya had something up her sleeve. I'm going to tell you something. Kenya knows how to hold her water. She's not going to put it out there until she needs to. She said she's disappointed she's not there today, but she said, please know that I do take full accountability for my actions and deeply apologize to all those affected, including Brittany, the cast, the crew, guests, viewers. I look forward to seeing you all back on Bravo soon. So she is letting people know she knows damn well she's coming back to Bravo, okay? And then Bravo had released the seating chart a little earlier today, and you can't help but to notice that Britt Eady is not there. It was a shot heard around the world. First chair is going to be Miss Porsha Williams and her ex-BFF, Shamia, okay? And then next in line from that, we got Phaedra and Miss Angela Oakley, who I believe should have had first chair. Okay. Then we got the friend of the show, Cynthia Bailey. We got Kelly. And then with all the hard work she put into conniving and cussing everybody out and making them all look like snakes, everything that was going on the internet, Drew Sidora is sitting last chair, child. So just so y'all know, it didn't work out for Drew this season again. But come on in, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please hit the like button, please, and thank you. Let me show you guys what is going on. Miss Britt Eady, newcomer to the show, got her peach immediately, got the OG kicked off, okay? Got the OG Kenya Moore kicked off the show. She is changing her tune after previously saying she had reached out to law enforcement, gave us law for Georgia on what a revenge P is and all the things. This is what old girl is saying right now, okay? Take a look. She said, as everyone is now aware, I'm not attending the reunion. This was my decision. The events of this season have devastated me. And while I cannot say much right now, I do want to set the record straight about one thing. The graphic photo, the one where she's supposed to be rocking the mic, okay? She said the graphic photo surrounding the events in episode 5. Then in a single standalone sentence right there in the center, it says that photo was not me. As the episode makes clear, I did not see the photo at the time. Rather, I was made aware of the photo being presented at the event. And based on what I was told, assumed that it was somehow a photo of me. Now, y'all remember, she had told all of us it was a picture that came off of an OnlyFans, that it was something that she had did with an ex-boyfriend from high school. Okay, how would you know all of that, girl, if you didn't even know that part of the photo? So she goes on to say, which is why I reacted in the way that I did. I do not know who was in the photo, but upon seeing it for the first time recently, I now know it was not me. I look forward to seeking accountability and moving past this dark part of my life. Can somebody please say, damn? What? Can you imagine all the acting a fool that girl did, crying, all the crazy shit that has been going down on this season, people flipping and losing their minds? And she is saying that the photo wasn't even her. I said at the very beginning of this season, I said Britt does not have the right people in her life. This is the type of shit when you have, sometimes people do this, they get super emotional about stuff, but you got to recognize it in these people very early when they're kids and have somebody whip them up real quick, because Britt has been so paranoid all season long. She's been paranoid. Am I right? Now I'm real curious, because when she was sitting at that table at whatever event that Kelly had hosted, it was like the next event following Kenya's event. Y'all remember, she was sitting there and Angela said, why don't you tell us the real reason you're upset about the ring? And kind of poking at her like, you're not telling the truth. You haven't been truthful about what happened at that event since it went down. That's exactly what Angela said to her. And I remember thinking, what an odd thing to say. So my guess is Kenya wanted to be on that reunion so she could say some shit, okay? Kenya said, I did not do this, right? Let's see. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Come on in. High lies, more lies. The Jordan Track said, she do be lying. I can't argue with the facts. Lisa said, okay, now they can bring back Kenya on the show. Erica said, she's been paranoid because she's done so much. You're right. You're right. She was acting paranoid all season long. All season long. Don't you check in every single body? And this episode, this coming up episode, she's going to do another thing where she's going to appear very paranoid. Lolita said, bravo, and the producers should be ashamed. I think Kenya had them in a legal chokehold, baby, for sure. Listen, when I saw her say, I look forward to seeing you all back on Bravo, I said, that bitch should have made a deal. You don't say that unless a deal has been made. Child, she already knew. And then this one right here talking about she just decided to leave the show. No, they told you what was about to happen. You already knew. You didn't show up on that damn set because you knew people were coming for your ass, okay? She said she would be vindicated. Absolutely right. The thing is, hate it or not, I'm not mad at correcting bad behavior on these shows. Britt should have been removed before Kenya did what she did, respectfully, in my opinion. Kenya said that she would be vindicated. Yes. Listen, I agree. At the end of the day, we are watching people, we are watching their real lives, right? They, and in this situation in particular, something real unfolded right before cameras, right? Typically, I say this: people are in situations like, for instance, just because this is such a hot button, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Melody and Martell came on the show after they pulled their paperwork out of divorce court. So it wasn't like Melody wasn't aware of Martell and who he was, right? Like, she knew that he was cheating. She's come out and said out of her own mouth, like, you know, he embarrassed the hell out of me. So all the stuff that people got angry about actually happened in their past. It happened in their past, not in their current, outside of the baby thing. But she had known, like, look, this man was cheating on me. You know, he had 2 pregnancies with this girl before, but the audience was so upset and angered. But it was still playing out. It was still something that was already dealt with by that couple. What was going on between Britt and Kenya happened on the set. They didn't know each other for the, like, all of these things unfolded right before our eyes, right? And the entire time, Kenya was just holding her chip, like, okay, I'm kicked off the show. Because she said, when she did her YouTube page, she said, I fully expected to come back to the show. And then when she realized that they had fired her or taken her off for the season, even then she was willing to stay cool because they had said to her, listen, you can come back on the reunion and share your side. So Kenya was holding that chip, like, cool, I will come back to the reunion, I'll share my side. And then they took her off the reunion. And that's when she started feeling a way about something. But I feel like Kenya had them lawyers and they basically said this shit wasn't even her. You kicked off somebody that has been on this show season after season after season. Okay. And that is what it is. It's not the same. So like when I say, even though, you know, we have these conversations a lot, but when I say, listen, you guys, even though it's playing out on the show, it is something that has already been dealt with by people, and they're just bringing the drama to the show. Sometimes we get so caught up in the drama that we forget they've already lived this shit. They lived it. She was on her way to divorce court, had already filed her paperwork. This woman did not. Everything she did feels manipulative as hell to the audience. And a lot of the audience had already picked up on it and was like, no, I'm not believing this. Let's see. CC's can't backtrack now, no matter how much Kenya apologize. Subscribers and CC's held her to the stake. I understand, but listen, and you're absolutely right, Betty. But these kind of things evoke a lot of emotion in people, right? Now, I've been saying, I hope Kenya come back, to be honest, but it evokes a lot of emotion in people, period. And that's what it's meant to do. That's why it's called manipulation. People manipulate shit to make you think something is happening to them in the here and now, when it's actually, you know, either it isn't true or it didn't happen the way the audience is receiving it. So let's see. Good afternoon. Love you guys. Just joined. Love the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. Bravo said that they did their investigation, so they were wrong. Well, a lot of people were pissed off about a couple of things that we saw, because at the end of the day, this girl's personality was poking through every single second, wasn't it? When Kenya said, I was threatened with a gun, a pow, excuse me, and she went off to say that, we got this speech, right? What was the speech from Britt? I have never threatened anyone. I couldn't harm a fly. I've never gotten a speeding ticket. There was a whole lot of shit. There was a whole lot of things that was said to paint this picture. And her castmates were the ones who were coming out ahead of it and saying, you guys are going to see. Remember this? Shamia said it. Angela said it. Who else? I think Kelly said it. You guys are going to see a real different picture of things in the next coming episodes. Just keep watching. Kelly pulled back from her at first, saying that was one of her best friends. They've known each other forever. Kelly pulled back from her and was like, she is not who I thought she was. There's a whole lot of stuff. But we have to also remember that all of these people are human. I say this all the time, even though I might, make a comment. At the end of the day, they're human. You got to give some people grace. What she did, was it wrong? Sure, because I would think, this is just me personally, you show a nude picture of me some fucking place, pardon my French, I want to see what it is you showed. I want to see it. The fact that Britt made up a whole story about the picture, where the picture came from, child, all of this stuff, she had a whole hate train that she had come after Kenya, right? Kenya started talking about how her business was failing. How much you want to bet that was some of the conversation that her lawyers were talking to Bravo about? She was talking about how her business was getting a hit, right? Sometimes we got to pull back because and I say this for all of us, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Let's see. It's not too late for Kenya to press charges about the pow pow and get a deeper investigation done about it. Well, I think Kenya wants to have this behind her too, because at the end of the day, Kenya has made some threats, and Bravo has let a lot of stuff slide, right? I told you guys before, Phaedra brought a whole taser, had a pink taser hidden behind her back on the reunion stage in a, probably a $5,000 gown, child. So there's a lot of stuff that happens in the heat of the moment on these shows because production does pump things up a little bit. But Kenya has always been adamant that it didn't happen. And Britt created a completely a wild narrative. Seriously, and she had people repeating it everywhere. Bravo would be pissed. Britt said it wasn't her. Listen, she didn't just not show up. You know what I'm saying? I think that Britt knew what was up. How about Porsha saying that the pic with Britt was underage? Correct, Chloe. Listen, I agree. I remember her saying that. Why is she mad at me? And then Kenya was pissed at Cynthia. Cynthia's been saying, I don't know why she would want this, why she'd be mad at me. And Cynthia's right. If you see something like that, because they all thought it was Britt, right? They were there. It's still offensive to see the picture. So Kenya making an apology and saying, listen, at the end of the day, I deeply apologize. So I'm telling y'all, there was something already discussed. We haven't heard her say this, period. But for her to say, I deeply apologize, I take full accountability for my actions, right? All of those affected, including Brittany. She's calling Britt by her full government name. And to all of those affected, cast, crew, guest, viewers, everybody who has gone on this journey. It didn't have to happen if it wasn't for Kenya. So I understand both sides, but this is one of those things where sometimes people just go too far. They don't know when to pump the damn brakes. And yeah, I'm more astonished that Britt, I get that she didn't see the picture, but the stories that came behind it, because that's something that an insurance company, if they were going to investigate, wouldn't you want to see if it's the actual picture? Don't you got to check the VIN number, child? You're going to look for all the things that confirm this is what you said it is, including the investigative team at Bravo. There were so many balls strapped here. It makes no sense. So sad that Kenya did not handle this well, but I am very pro Kenya. Hit the like button. Thank you. I appreciate that, Loretta. Hit the like button, child. As soon as I saw it, y'all see that? It says 2 minutes. 2 minutes after she posted it, I was able to see it and get online to share it with y'all because I could not believe my eyeballs. Okay? I was about to fix my dinner. It's sitting on the table, child. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the like button, please, and thank you. Hit the like button. Share the video. Hey, Dark and Lovely, how are you? Cynthia should have been more private and found out more information from Kenya before running her mouth in public on platforms. They all had something to say. Now, they all did have something to say. That's a fact. Cynthia, let's see. I hope that Kenya get extra money and not only an agreement to come back because she's lost a lot from the spa. I'm sure that she and her lawyers knew how to negotiate. I bet she did. How did Britt lie? And I don't even like Britt. Well, C. Patterson 22, there was a lot of things that she spun after that event happened, right? Where this picture was released. She said that she had her insurance license investigated. She told stories on several platforms that the picture came from an OnlyFans account that she did when she was, I don't know, underage with a boyfriend or some shit. The fact of the matter is she didn't even know where that picture came from. She didn't know where the picture came from. And she probably wouldn't have had to go through all of those lengths if she would have just looked at the picture. The picture was there. It was available. The camera crew saw it. So it would have been real easy for her to verify if that's what actually happened. And she didn't. And she put on a show, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, she did threaten a girl. That did happen. That was actually played out on camera. When everybody said, we heard her threaten her, blah, 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 including Candy Burris, who wasn't even filming. She was like, I know she threatened her because of all the people that I heard that came back and told me. So all of her connections was telling people. The fact that she went through such great lengths to make it seem like she was the perfect victim when she wasn't, instead of saying, listen, it would have been a little easier to swallow. And she didn't do that. And I think that's interesting. Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate everyone for coming in. Please hit the like button, please, and thank you. We are going live to talk about Miss Britt Eady, who just made a public statement via her IG stating that the picture Kenya showed on episode 5, the one where she was supposed to be rocking the mic of her teenage boyfriend, isn't real. She said that that's not a photo of her. Who the photo belongs to, we do not know. But yeah, in her statement, I'll read it again for y'all. She said, as everyone is now aware, I'm not attending the Bravo reunion. This was my decision. So she's saying she wasn't fired. She wasn't told not to come. She said she made this decision. She said the events of this season have devastated me. And while I cannot say much right now, I do want to set the record straight about one thing. The graphic photo of her rocking the mic, allegedly, surrounding the events in episode 5, which would have been Kenya's salon. She said that photo was not me. That is a single standalone sentence right in the middle of her IG, okay? Her IG post. She says, as the episode makes clear, I did not see the photo at the time. So when did she see it? If she didn't see it at the time, when did she see it? Rather, I was made aware of the photo being presented at the event, and based on what I was told, assumed that it was somehow a photo of me, which is why I reacted in the way that I did. I do not know who was in that photo, but upon seeing it for the first time recently, I now know it was not me, and I look forward to seeking accountability and moving past this dark part of my life. So she's saying it wasn't her. She said she had no idea that she only recently saw the photo, which is wild, right? So whoever told her the photo was her, wouldn't you ask details? I'm just asking for me. Put it in the chat, child. We're about to take a poll. If somebody told you that they saw a picture of you, okay, you individually, you at anything, okay? I was at dinner, child, and I saw a picture of you rocking the mic. That would have meant they had to see your physical face, correct? your physical face and the member that she was clucking and sucking. If those people went back and said it was her, then who the hell did they see? Is my question. If everybody else saw it, why didn't she see it? Let's see. Someone says, shame on you. Somebody else said, because somebody, if they're telling her that it was her, who did they see in the photo where they thought it was her? She said, I looked at it right away and knew it wasn't me. By Britt, so long. By Britt, so long. Lies kick rocks. Damn. Okay. So who was the woman that I don't know who the woman was. Kenya said, just to be clear, lies more lies. She said she never showed the photo. She said, I did not do that. It wasn't Revenge P. So for all we know, the photo probably really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, Kenya did apologize for her part, the part she played. I'm disappointed that she's not there today for the reunion, but she does take full accountability for her actions. So for some reason, Kenya feels vindicated in this space right now. I take full accountability for my actions and deeply apologize to all those affected, including Brittany, the cast, the crew, the guests, the viewers. I look forward to seeing you all back on Bravo soon. Hot ass mess, child. The photos not being her is very telling. The so-called investigation that took place. Hey, you ain't lying. That's why I said at this point, Bravo, F the hell up, is it what it sounds like? I would want to see the picture that day, that minute, that second. Right. I was asking y'all to take a poll. I forgot. So yes, if you would want to see the picture that apparently everybody else saw, put a 2 in the chat. If you would have just went for months and months with this emotional baggage in your brain, on your heart, in your spirit, okay, telling people that your job and license would be investigated, if you just chose not to watch it, okay, put a 4 in the chat. Would you ask to see it too? Or would you be cool not seeing it and having a whole bunch of people speak crazy over you? 4. All right, I see 2, 2. Somebody said 2, 2, 2, 2 to the 15th power. Everybody's saying 2. I agree. It's a 2. That's just the type of person I am, though. You say some shit, I want to see it. I want to see it. Prove it, child. It sounds like the entire cast and production set Kenya up. We need a deeper digging on this. Wild shit. She went a whole year. This shit was filmed last year. Okay? I believe in the summer last year. And she is just now recently seeing the picture. Now I can watch again. Okay, mostly 2s. There's a few 4s who said that they wouldn't want to see the photo. I would want to see it. And I would think that since Britt has an alleged history of, doing things on camera, and people were saying they saw stuff in public spaces, intimate stuff between her and other people in public spaces, I would think she would want to see it. I heard that she spent a lot of money to scrub the internet after the event happened, so that it wouldn't be, up for public fodder. What people won't do for a bag. From cleaning, elephant shit all the way up to having, intimate relationships on film. People will do anything for a bag for sure. It would have been an AI photo, which is not real. So you think it may have been an AI photo? It could have been an AI photo, which is not real. You think so? Okay. You could be right. It could have been something else. So the rumor is that someone gave Kenya the pics. Kenya said that that wasn't true. She did say that. Britt is a non-factor and a fraud, ruining people's lives. Yeah, so this is a lot. This is a lot, but she did post it. So I'm going to give her credit for this. She did post it, even though we're talking about it, but we all saw that she had a lot of emotional things going on. Perhaps this added to it. Perhaps it added to it. But I wish that she would have been in the right space to look at it at the time. I think that a proper investigation, since everybody was talking about what human resources should do, the proper investigation would have been to give her that photo. Even if she said decline to have it, your job was still to give it to her. For Pete's sakes, Britt could and can get over that pic. Mimi got over being exposed. Mimi from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Well, she didn't get over getting exposed because she didn't have to get over that. Remember, she actually admitted that they gave that tape to a production company for release. So she admitted to it. Yeah, so Dark and Lovely, that is part of what I'm saying when I said she kind of put a whole lot of stank on it, saying that she was being investigated. First, initially saying that she lost her license. She told Shamia she lost her license. And when Shamia brought it up in conversation and Angela checked her and said, well, girl, how did that happen? Like, I'm a licensed insurance agent too. Britt kind of fought that. Britt fought that. She was like, you don't do what I do, okay? You do housing and I got something else. And that's a lot, child. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. I'm on live to talk to y'all about this crazy shit. This is a year of exposure. I've been saying that for the last 2 years, 2023. I told y'all people are not going to be able to get away with stuff, that we are under a veil, that the soonest stuff happens, people, it's going to get exposed in the worst way and the nastiest way. And I'll be damned. All year, I've been watching people go down, child. Bravo, too quick to jump on the bandwagon. I blame Bravo for all of this. Well, so she just ran with the lie without being sure that it was her. Well, she ran with the story, and a lot of people went back and confirmed it, right? Listen, Cynthia was in the room. She walked out and said, I don't want to see anybody's dick. What is going on? I don't want to see dicks. Kelly was in the room. She ran out. Who else? I think Porsha said, take me home now. In fact, take me out the damn scene. I don't even want people to know I was here. So we all heard them have that conversation. What we didn't hear is anybody say that was Britt, right? We didn't hear them say that was Britt. Kenya, on the other hand, was very adamant that she didn't do what Britt said she did. So I don't know. Porsha assumed it. Cynthia assumed it. Kelly assumed it. Shamia. There was a whole, crowd of people that were there, that were invited. We know that she did a lot of work to her face. Maybe she don't recognize herself. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, listen, Tisha said, sometimes we like messy, for sure. For sure. People like a lot of messy. That is true. That's the game. But yeah, we also just have to keep in mind that, sometimes we're watching and hearing shit that we just watch and hear it. And then we choose who we want to believe based on who we like. I think that this is a good lesson for all of us because, child, people be messing people's entire lives up on bullshit. I'm not falling for it. I believe that the network made a deal with Britt and Kenya, and Britt took the L. Oh, you think so? Let me just say this, Dark and Lovely. The L that Britt is taking is not a good one. This could affect her for the rest of her days. This is not something you want to do unless you have to do it. Coming out and saying that you lied about any type of essay is a humiliation I wouldn't wish on a pig. You feel me? You have to know better. You have to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And nobody could pay me could make me say anything like that. Britt basically accused Kenya of essay. And she's not the only one. I don't think she was paid off. I don't think she was paid off. This is a very humiliating thing to happen to her. But it does sound like she might have some legal response to it. I will say that. Just based on that last sentence, she's still doing X, Y, and Z. Surely it would affect Britt. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good at all. This is not good at all. So Britt has skipped out. Britt has skipped out on the reunion. She will not be a part of it. We know that she had a pretty rough season. She had a pretty rough season. Look at the seating chart. Porsha, I don't know if she's ever had first chair before, but she has first chair this season. Porsha and Shamia. Shamia is a newcomer for holding a peach. Both of them will sit first chair. Phaedra Parks, who only has 3 episodes, child. She's sitting second to first. Then we have sitting in the last seat, Miss Cynthia Bailey. On the other side, we got Angela sitting second, Kelly sitting third, and oh my goodness, all the way this girl have been playing around. I have to tell y'all, there's something about Drew, even with the producers, and I don't think she even did a Watch What Happens Live this season. Did anyone see Drew on Watch What Happens Live this season? I haven't, and I've watched every one, I thought. And for whatever reason, Drew has not been invited on. And some of these girls have been on Watch What Happens Live twice this season so far. Some of them have sat in that seat twice. Drew hasn't sat in it once, I don't think. The craziest part is if Bravo would have just investigated correctly before the hair spa, there could have been potentially a combo between Britt and Kenya instead of a whole season overshadowed. Yeah, Sweet 16 turned out to be an interesting failure. Porsha had first chair since season 10. Okay, thank you, Real John. I did not remember that. Oh, she's on this weekend. Okay, so she's finally going to sit with Andy Cohen because on Watch What Happens Live this weekend, because I'm telling you right now, I've been waiting for her to sit with him. And I was like, what is going on? Why are y'all taking your time with Drew? He's had the majority of the cast on twice. Shamia's been on twice. Who else? He brought Phaedra on already. I believe Cynthia's been on twice. Kelly's been on. Let's see. Why do you think that Drew never been on with Andy? You're not going to like my answer because people have been attacking me. People have been attacking me left and right. But I think that Drew is, she's not really honest. And I think that she probably declined. Maybe, I don't know. Because her at the beginning of that season, it was so hot and heavy about her having this relationship with Porsha's baby daddy, Dennis. I don't think she wanted to come on and say something that she thought Dennis was going to basically make her look like a liar on. I think personally, even though I haven't done my review for this past episode, I think the reason why Drew sat in front of Porsha and got fly at the mouth, finally being able to say, I didn't sleep with him and I would never sleep with him, is because she got the green light from Dennis to do so. I think she's been humming and hawing about it because she didn't know what Dennis was going to say. And when her and Dennis finally said, listen, we're going to put this to bed. I'm not going to put it out there that you did this or whatever the case may be, because Dennis shouldn't have sent Porsha those text messages. Dennis was trying to make Porsha jealous, clearly. Porsha's getting a bad rap, but Dennis was trying to make his baby mama feel away. And he honestly thought that she was going to show up on the show with Simon. So I think he was running shit to her to piss her off and get her in her fifis. And then when she went home to cry to Simon about it, maybe he was going to try to expose his baby mama as being still in love with him. But it didn't play out like that. And when it didn't play out like that, he had to back it up. The problem is Porsha was out there doing all kinds of shit. He kept it quiet. He finally says, let's just squash it. Porsha agreed to squash it. Now Drew wants to be the big bad person. Drew was afraid to answer the question. She never answered no. She never gave a straight answer. No, I never did that. No, that is a lie. Until Dennis said, or at least she took it for Dennis saying, because all Dennis really said was, I don't know why you would believe that. And he did it with half of his damn face in the camera. Half of his face in the camera and his eyes covered, child. So who are you going to believe? Me or your lying ass eyes? Okay. Porsha, listen, everybody keep thinking that Porsha needs to squash it with Drew. Porsha has since squashed it with Drew. When Porsha figured it out, even on the last episode, she said, Drew, I don't even want to do this with you anymore. Dennis said, blah, 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 it's done. I didn't even realize you was fucking somebody else, is how Porsha said it. You're messing with the dude named Black. That's when Drew gets extra buck. Drew was doing too much in that scene, considering since the very first episode, she's never actually said the words, I didn't sleep with Dennis. She waited until episode 13 to say it. No, Diana, that's wrong. I think Drew is asking Kenya to film with her after Kenya. No, Diana, that's wrong. I think Drew asking Kenya to film with her after Kenya was suspended was the reason why she hasn't been on Watch What Happens Live. They were punishing Drew. No, ma'am, they weren't punishing Drew. They weren't punishing Drew. Don't think that. Everybody gets their shot on Drew. Everybody gets their shot on Watch What Happens Live. Drew did not. They started rotating people they've already interviewed. And I don't think it had anything to do with that. That's not how that ever plays out, ever in history. Wow, I saw that scene totally different. Well, go back and watch if you'd like. Watch the earlier episodes and tell me how many times Drew has denied flat out that she did not sleep with Dennis. Never. Her first time saying it to another cast member was on episode 13. Typically, all she does is make faces and goes, oh, wow, why? She never said it before. And I'm telling you right now, she's using her little, I like a man with a certain physique. You also like a woman with a certain physique, right? Like even when she interviewed with Carlos King, and he said, have you ever kissed Ty Young? Have y'all ever went all the way or whatever? And she didn't answer yes or no. Her response was, yes, we flirted, heavy flirting. I can't deny flirting, definite flirting. I was like, who answers a question like that? Who answers a question like that? Nobody does that. If you kiss the girl, say you kissed the girl. But she says it in a way that doesn't get her in trouble with the person, right? Because now she's saying, I'm not denying Ty necessarily, but then she tried to put it on religion. Well, I have certain beliefs and I can't, because I have certain beliefs, I could never be in a relationship with her. Well, if you have certain beliefs, you sure in the hell aren't flirting. You're not giving Ty Young blue balls. You know what I'm saying? That girl shouldn't be going home thinking that y'all got something. That's not right. Look, going through a divorce with Petty Ralph, she needs to keep quiet or he'll use it in court. I mean, I hear you. She ain't messed with no damn Dennis. Dennis is, y'all act like Dennis is some sort of like leper. That man gets a lot of women, okay? He damn near flirted with half the cast before they even showed up on the show. So can't say that. You had a woman, and let's be real, please, and thank you. If Drew was truly going through a breakup and she's going through this heartbreak like she wants people to believe, she's with a man who's giving her attention. It does not matter what he looks like. He clearly has game. He knows how to speak the speak and do the things that he was doing. I don't think Shamia was lying when she put the phone in Drew's face and said, "Girl, you are dressing like this man. You're holding hands. You're being caught out in these streets." I don't think she's lying. Dennis is for the streets. Well, according to Drew, so is Ralph, and she was okay with Ralph. She said she still wanted to be with Ralph. She still wanted her marriage. A lot of women think that Dennis has it going on. It was Candy Burris who told everybody as soon as Porsha met up with Dennis. She said, "Listen, I know I don't want to, I don't want to intrude on what you got going on, but I know Dennis. Dennis loves women and women love Dennis." That was what she was warned about. But it is what it is. Now, don't do that. Dennis gets his fair share of women, sure. And Drew does not have standards. Drew was married to Ralph. Don't give her that. That's not true. The first day that we were introduced to Ralph, it was Drew telling us that Ralph was in Florida, had went to Florida for a couple of days and left the entire family. And she was fighting to get that man back every step of the way. Saying I don't know why you would believe that isn't saying Porsha's a bold-faced lie. Porsha showed the text to her castmates. We will have to see what the reunion shows. But Porsha, when she was telling the story and reading the text messages, when Shamia showed the text message, y'all, Shamia was the first to break the story. When Shamia showed the text message, she handed the phone to Drew. She put the phone in her face. I need y'all to pay attention to this, because in my opinion, and I'm right, shit, when a person is accusing you of doing something that dirty and they give you the phone to say, "Bitch, hey, this person is out here saying you doing this, that, and the other," your response isn't a, "Oh, what?" You wouldn't do that. You would say, it was almost like she knew what was going on. You would say, "I don't know, this person is a bold-faced lie. I would never do that to somebody." You know what I'm saying? Even if Porsha and I aren't talking right now, I would never fuck with Dennis. Like, you would make it a point of saying that. When she was directly asked or told by Angela, she did not give a direct answer. She did not give a direct answer. She made noises like, "Oh my God, I'm so shocked." For the first time, episode 13, she sits with Porsha and says, "I did not sleep with Dennis." 13 episodes in, absolutely not. And she only said it after. That's what you do when you can make sure that the other person is going to have your back. She wasn't comfortable with doing it until she knew that Dennis was comfortable, that Dennis was going to back her. I mean, if you say so, Miss Smiley, I'm just saying that the man is a whore. And so um, she seems to have a type. Ty Young has been called a little bit of a whore. Um, she has a type, and the type is a bad boy or a bad girl. I'm not gonna give her as much as y'all giving her. I don't care. I saw a lot. Drew plays both sides of the fence with everybody. Check out Drew's interview with the Breakfast Club. She was on today. Drew is nasty work, disparaging Kenya's Porsha's go naked hair. That's too bad. She's doing a lot right now. She's changed her whole stance on this. You don't know if Drew slept with Dennis. When people don't sleep with people, they make it a point of saying it. Drew's first scene on the TV show was with Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore is looking at her half sideways, like, girl, you are doing what with who? And the whole time she was acting like she couldn't catch a hint. Drew is not slow. That girl is quick. She was sitting, y'all act like it was only Porsha. Even Kenya says to the girl, this is dirty. Cynthia comes and says it to her. Girl, you don't do that. Like, everybody kept saying it, and she was trying to act like she didn't know, like she was a 3-year-old. That's not how things work when you're being accused of sleeping with someone's man. Even if it's a past man, you don't do that. You set the record straight. People don't get to call you a hoe and you let them, get away with it. It just doesn't happen. I believe that she would fuck Dennis. I believe that she would fuck Ty. I believe she would sleep with all of them. I don't think that she is who y'all are trying to make her out to be. I think that she lies a lot. Her husband said that he believed that she was sleeping with Ty and that he had proof. Mimi came out and said that she also had proof. She stayed away from them. It was based on her filming with Dennis. What was based on her filming with Dennis? Let's see. Well, we know who Porsha was sleeping with. Well, she was a good friend of Porsha's, according to Porsha and according to her. What do they say? Birds of a feather flock together. No. Even if Porsha, SMW, go back and watch the season. You guys would be horrible jurors. You got to watch people's reactions to things. Go back and watch the season. It's not just what she said and did with Porsha. It's what she said and did with everybody else who essentially accused her of being out of pocket. Every single body who didn't even have a dog in the fight, she never said point blank, you are a lie. Oh, look, I lost somebody by the name of Ebony Queen. I'm going to make sure that you don't come back. Okay, Ebony? Bye-bye. Nice to see you. Listen, y'all got to get your shit together. 2025, child. Unsubscribe. Girl, get out. None of those women would be around my husband with their nasty asses. I know that's right. I know that's right. Oh, you can leave without giving me your opinion. Just go. If you tell me you unsubscribe, child, forever. So no one calls out the biggest hoe and liar on the show. Peach juice. Why ain't no one talking about Porsha stealing a co-worker's friend? Everybody talks about Porsha stealing the co-worker's husband. It's been literally the talk of everything. It's the entire reason why people feel like Drew is Porsha's karmic retribution, right? Like, go ahead and mess with Dennis. Everybody's been talking about it. The problem is Drew isn't any better than Porsha. That's it. Drew is not better than Porsha. She's doing the same exact thing. That's all. That is it. So giving someone, I guess, being rewarded for doing the exact same shit you claim to hate, it seems weird. It seems weird. Porsha absolutely did what she did. Hopefully, she will get to talk about it on the reunion. That's what Kelly said the other day. I hope Andy asked her to answer for her sins. She slipped up on a dick. That's it. That was the sin that she did it. Absolutely. She slipped up on it. They got married. What's his name's ex-wife? She was 4 months pregnant when the announcement came out that they were together. What else happened? They already explained the entire story. Simon had hired that young man to work the property, and they would go out with each other every night. And because she was lonely, she slipped up on a dick. So the same thing happened to Fallon. Fallon did the same. It is what it is. There's no jail for it. It's just something that people do. There's no jail for it, but it's something that people have been talking about since the day it happened. I'm still not giving Drew Sidora a pass. I don't think that is right, period. And everybody on the show said the same. Drew is definitely better than Porsha. Porsha lies can cause harm to people. Drew's lies can cause harm to herself. In what way do you, or could you explain that? She apologized to Porsha because she said she didn't tell her about filming. I do recall that. She said, I do apologize. And Porsha said to her, thank you, I accept. And she also said, it does not matter to me if you are sleeping with Dennis. That's the one thing that Porsha has been very clear on, because I told y'all Porsha saw something that suggested that it was true. And she said it does not matter to her either way, because she cannot control what Dennis does with his, situations. She said that's just who he is. That's just who he is, and she knows it. She also knows that he's very charming and that he gets what he wants when he wants a woman. So she knows this. This isn't a secret. If you're going to know who your baby's father is, that's the smartest thing you can do. Know who your baby's father is, know what you're dealing with. She realizes this is somebody that, was creeping a little bit. It is what it is. She's not going to hold it personally. At the end of the day, game recognized game. What did Candy and Nene say? We see each other. Okay, we see each other. They did the exact same thing. Even if Drew slept with Dennis, he is a baby daddy, not a husband. Drew slept with Simon, that would be different. I would hold Drew accountable. If your friend sleeps with your baby daddy, think about this. Someone that you know, someone you call a friend, if they slept with your baby daddy, you wouldn't care? Is that what you're telling me? It could be true, but I still think that's crossing a line. All right. I can't convince you. You have to watch it for yourself. I just know a liar when I see one, and Drew is definitely a liar. She's been one since day one. Drew had people talking about her that wasn't even on the show anymore. That wasn't even on the show anymore. It was crazy. It affects people differently. It affects people differently. So there's some people who may not be offended by it, and that's cool. There might be people that are. That's cool too. I don't know. I would think that baby daddies, I wouldn't want my sister to sleep with my baby daddy. I wouldn't sleep with hers. I wouldn't want anyone in my family, and I don't want anybody that I call a friend who knows my child, who talks to my mama. Don't do that. I would not want you to do that. I get that some people have feelings about someone that you really didn't know, But it is what it is. Porsha recognized that's the shit she got into. That's her karma, whatever was coming for her with that. I don't think Drew is her karma. I think that Drew made a mistake in carrying out or letting the lie go for as long as it did. And I think that that is one of the reasons why she's sitting the last chair. I mean, that's not Drew, according to y'all, was one of the only people who had a storyline. She is sitting last chair. Porsha slept with Candy's baby father. I mean, if we're being serious just with the ladies on Lovin', with ladies on Real Housewives of Atlanta, they've all took a turn with somebody, child. They've all took a turn. I think Candy and Phaedra have shared boyfriends. She's behind Kelly, for Pete's sake. Drew has had the same storyline for a little while, even though a lot of people are giving her a pass this year. Drew's storyline has been the same for the last 2 years. This is the 3rd season. In fact, she's been divorcing Ralph since she started the show. That is what gave me the side eye with Drew. So you can't fool everybody, child. You can't fool everybody. Just some of the time. Some of the time you can fool them, but not all the time. Do they get paid by the chair they sit in? Well, I'll tell you what, if you're sitting in the last chair, that means that you could be on the chopping block for the next season. You have to have a compelling story. And sometimes, they want to see you move around in those chairs. So first chair means that you have the most compelling story, the one that was the most interesting according to producers, right? The fact that Drew is sitting last and Phaedra is sitting second is really what's crazy. Okay. Drew is actually behind Cynthia, and Cynthia's the friend. So yeah, it does make a little bit of difference. Paychecks are great, but if you can't guarantee you're gonna make another check, then what's the point? Like you wanna get your check on Friday and say it doesn't matter if I come back on Monday. You wanna make sure that you do just enough to bring your ass back, right? Yeah, the last chair doesn't. It's not as. It's not a seat you want. Shit. It's not a seat you want. Well, I don't know Phaedra's story. Portia's story is going to be her divorce. So she's going to talk about the divorce. She's going to talk about her friendship with Shamia. She's going to talk about her relationship with Dennis. Porsha was everyone's storyline, whether people like it or not. Even though Britt isn't on there, she does get into it with Britt this coming Sunday. She got into it with Angela by saying that she was going to sleep with Charles, and it looks like she has something going on with Kelly. So she absolutely got into it with everybody except for Phaedra and Cynthia. So they're sitting on the other side. And what story does Phaedra have with her lion ass? She's going to get into it with Angela Oakley. She's going to get into it with Angela Oakley. Basically, it's going to be about Charles. It sounds like I'm thinking it's about Charles. Phaedra keeps saying that she knows Charles and that Charles has never talked about his wife. So she's putting a whole lot of extra on Angela by making it seem like Charles could be out in them streets. But yeah, y'all, that's it. Okay. So just so you are aware, as of today, earlier today, we found out that Britt Eady skipped out on the reunion. I'll wrap this up real quick. Britt Eady skipped out on the reunion after her first season, and this is her only season because you cannot leave, you cannot not film the reunion. So she skipped out on the reunion, and it sounds like it was following information she received saying that the picture Kenya Moore exposed at her salon event wasn't her. By having Phaedra sit beside her. Well, I'll tell you what you should do, Liza More Lies. She said, Dyana, it seems like Andy Cohen is making sure that Phaedra feels comfortable by having Phaedra sit beside her. So yesterday I had an opportunity to listen to Nene Leakes' YouTube podcast, and she gave some really interesting insight on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me give y'all this tea real quick, okay? So first she said, number one, she is in an excellent place with Bravo. She said, me and Bravo, NBC Universal, we're in a good spot. For the last 2 years, I have been working with NBC Universal. I have been doing red carpets. She said, NBC owns those red carpets, and that she essentially, they all squashed the beef, okay? She said that they had all squashed the beef. Thank you so much for blessing the channel, Stacey M. I appreciate you, okay? She said that they had all squashed the beef. So Nene said to a guest that she was talking to, I think it was Bossip. Please forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the person who runs Bossip. And she said that her, Andy Cohen, NBC, Bravo are cool, okay? So just so everybody knows, there is no problem. If she decides to return to the show, RHOA, she can. Bossip actually asked her, do you think that you are going to go back to RHOA? To which she didn't answer yes or no. She just said, you think I should be there? She said, yeah, that's the house you built. And then the Bossip lady also said, I heard Porsha Williams' YouTube page. She is basically saying that she thinks that the two of you can reconcile. And Nene said, I'd love to. She made some jokes, but she said, Porsha, come over to my YouTube page. Let's go out for drinks, girl. You know my number. I didn't change it. So even with that, it sounds like, you know, between Nene saying that she's okay with Porsha, she's not at war, between Kenya Moore saying she's looking forward to coming back on Bravo, it sounds to me like they've squashed some of the beef, right? So that's the first thing. The other thing that Nene said is when people don't get along, they put you on the other side of the aisle, basically. So Porsha does get along with Cynthia. She does get along with Phaedra. She doesn't get along with Shamia, Angela, Kelly, or Drew. And what happened the last time when Porsha was sitting on the same couch with Kenya? After that, they won't let anybody sit on the same side anymore. You got to sit across the way. You got to give them bodyguards enough time to come up there, child, and yank people back into their seats. So Kenya and Porsha made it so that people didn't sit beside each other or on the same couch again. They had gotten into it. So after that, they put them on opposite sides. So you are right that they do get along. But so there's only 3 on that side and the other 4. But we're also missing Britt Eady. So if Britt is there, she probably would have sat on Porsha's side. Why do you think they're pleasing Porsha? They can't put her on the same side as people who are fighting to avoid any type of physical altercation. So maybe they're pleasing Drew to make sure that Drew doesn't say something that gets her yanked, or that, you know, Porsha doesn't say something that gets her yanked. You got to separate them. They gotta be smart. Y'all have been asking them to be smart. You know, if they were sitting on the same side with each other and gotten to it, y'all be screaming about human resources. I've never heard human resources so damn much. Human resources don't even work the same on TV. TV and what happens at your office job are two different things. Okay. Porsha doesn't get along with damn near the whole cast. Yet it's been about Drew not getting along with the entire cast. Drew doesn't get along with them either, though. She doesn't. Y'all giving her too much. You really are. Drew did get into it with everybody. She just, she's not as much of a threat because we haven't seen Drew physically fight anyone. It helps Porsha not put her hands on anyone. It helps Angela not put her hands on anyone. These people have real emotions. They, even though we're watching TV, they still have real emotions. They still have all the feelings that you have in your little body. The only difference is when you get into it with somebody, you can walk away. They have to sit there. They have to sit there and do the show and get paid. And the people that host the show, they have a job to do. They got to make sure that these people don't go after each other. Shamia and Drew don't get along. Well, I hope they don't have that much of a fight to get into. She did call her a lapdog, but I think that putting her at the end is okay. Agreed about. They damn near took Drew off the stage, so let's keep Drew on the stage, child. They don't want no more yanking, dragging down to the ground. That's right. You ain't lying. That was a bad day, child. Cynthia lost her titty. It popped out the dress, child. There was so much going on that day. I had to rewind it like 50 times. Like, what happened now? What happened now? But yeah, bringing props to set, all of that stuff stopped that day. And Porsha actually got a warning because they tried to fire Porsha that day. Y'all know that. They tried to fire Porsha right after that reunion. And the girls banded together, went to production and said, if Porsha quit or Porsha gets fired, we all go. Because they thought that they let Kenya Moore basically provoke her. So they told her, we won't do it. And then they let her back. But they did tell her that if she got into a physical fight again, that would be her ass, right? But Drew needs to be on the stage. So let Drew stay on the stage. Drew had first seat last season. Okay, Chloe. Drew had first seat last season. That was when her and Ralph were getting a divorce, right? Because she said something. I did see an interview where she said she expected Ralph to come back in and get down on one knee and propose to her and say that he wanted to save the relationship, but it didn't happen. Anyway, let me get back to this. Kenya came out earlier and she said that she is looking forward to coming back on Bravo. She took full accountability for her part in showing a picture that we have now found out wasn't even of Britt. At least that's what they're saying. And Kenya actually apologized to everybody, the cast, the crew, the guests, the viewers. She said she wants back on TV. She wants to do her job. And she's lost a lot. We're not going to pretend like she has not lost a lot. Her reputation got ruined. It was ruined. People hate her guts, okay? There's a lot of support. She still does have a lot of support, but there were people who were dragging her. And we also had we had Britt Eady come out and make a statement saying that she didn't even realize the picture that Kenya Moore showed was not of her, okay? She said, I'm not attending the reunion. This was my decision. The events of this season have devastated me. And while I cannot say much right now, which suggests that there might be some legal stuff coming down the pike, she said, I do not want to set the record straight, or maybe she can't talk until after the reunion's done. Let me take that back. There might not be legal stuff, but her saying that she can't talk about it right now could be that she needs to let the reunion play out, right? Because they are all still under contract. So she said she can't say much right now, but I do want to set the record straight about one thing. The graphic photo surrounding the events in episode 5, that photo was not me. As the episode made clear, I did not see the photo at the time. Rather, I was made aware of the photo being presented at the event, and based on what I was told, assumed that it was somehow a photo of me, which is why I reacted the way I did. I do not know who was in that photo, but upon seeing it for the very first time recently, I now know that it was not me. I look forward to seeking accountability and moving past this dark episode in my life. So that is all. That is it. That is all, y'all. Ciao, 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 ciao. Let's see. But that's it, y'all. I'm going to hang it up now. I appreciate every single one of y'all for coming through. Make sure that y'all hit the like button on your way out. We shall see what happens next. This was definitely unexpected. I had no idea. I had no idea that we would get this type of energy. And this is, I mean, the reunion is filming today. The reunion is filming today. So Angela has already come out. Somebody said, Angela, please drag him. Angela said she thanks God that she has thick skin, because what she filmed, she said damn near took her out. Okay. But she will be back next season. All right. That's it. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Thanks for the tea. Thanks, Lexi. Thanks, Liza More Lies. I appreciate you and all of you, actually, every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Make sure you hit the like button, share the video, follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. Okay. Until we meet again, child. Bye-bye.